Myself, Sahana PM, Department of Physics, Guest Lecturer, ADP First Grade College, Harapanhalli. Today, I am going to give information about the stellar evolution. For that, stellar evolution. Stellar evolution means the life cycle of a star. How it will be how it will be taking the birth, how it will be uh, do their work, and how it will be death. This is the life cycle of the star that I will explain in the stellar evolution. It consisting of the formation of the star, protostar stage, pre-main sequence stage, main sequence stage, and red giant stage and white dwarf stage. These are the stages of the life cycle of a star, that is stellar evolution. I will show I will explain that by using the one picture. This is stellar evolution. Here in the picture we are having the nebula with stars. Here it is the smaller star and larger star, red giant stage, red supergiant stage, planetary nebula, supernova, white dwarf, neutron stars, and the black holes. Here smaller stars means which is having the mass less than the 8 times of the solar mass. Larger stars means which is having the mass greater than 8 times of the solar mass, and red supergiant stages are here. And by the astronomers, there is a predominantly means there is already existence of the condensation of the hydrogen atoms in the space, and those hydrogen atoms will be condensed there because of the gravitational attraction, and these hydrogen atoms are having the velocity, and they can move randomly in the space. While they are moving, when some of the hydrogen atoms come close together, there will form a force of attraction between them, hence they will condense there only. Like that, the other hydrogen atoms which are in the space, those are also coming towards this condensation of the hydrogen atoms, that will forms a pocket of gas, that is the beginning of the star, is called as the protostar, as we can see here in the figure. It is nebula with the protostars. Okay, and here this protostar will start to shrink. That means the hydrogen atoms will be moving towards the center of gravity. While they are moving, the velocity as well as the temperature is increases there. The temperature is increases from 100 Kelvin to 50,000 Kelvin, and during their motion some of the hydrogen atoms will collide with one another. There is a dislodge of the hydrogen atom will be takes place. That dislodge means the separation of the hydrogen atom into proton and the electron. Now the system consisting of the two types of the gas, that is proton gas and the electron gas. Because of this separation, a energy is released there. That energy will be having the radiations, and most of the radiations in the infrared range, and because of this separation the temperature is increases, and the luminosity of the star is also increases there, and the shrinkage will be continuous along with the increasing in temperature. Initially the shrinkage will be very rapid here, and after some time it will be slows down, and after 10 billions of years the diameter of the star will changes from the trillions of kilometers to 2.5 billions of kilometers. At this stage the internal temperature of the core of the star is 10 raised to 6 Kelvin, and when this temperature is reached, the star will be in the star the thermonuclear reactions will be takes place, that is hydrogen is burning in to form the helium in the core of the star, and how much amount of energy is emitted from the star, that much of energy is generated in the core of the star. And when this stage is reached here, then the star will be reaches the main sequence, as we can see in the HR diagram. I will show the HR diagram here. This is the HR diagram. This is the main sequence. Almost 90% of the star will be in the diagonal, is present in the diagonal form, that is in the main sequence. Only the remaining percent of the star will be in the white dwarf stage, giant stage, and the supergiant stage. Okay, when the star will be reaches the main sequence stage, a hydrostatic equilibrium will be reached here. Hydrostatic equilibrium means here the inward inward gravitational pressure is equal to the outward gas pressure. Whatever the energy is produced in the interior core of the star that will emit the radiation, that gas pressure must be equal to the inward gravitational pressure. When these two forces are equal and opposite, then only the equilibrium will be happens here, that is the hydrostatic equilibrium. When the star will be reaches the main sequence means it will attains the hydrostatic equilibrium, so it will be stable. And here in the interior of the star, the hydrogen is burning into form the helium. Then by the two process, the reaction will be takes place by the two process, that is proton proton cycle, and the another one is carbon nitrogen oxygen cycle, that is CNO cycle. When the hydrostatic equilibrium is reached means the star will be in the main sequence, that, and as we can seen already in the HR diagram. HR diagram means Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. After that the stage will be reached here, that is a small star and the large star here. And next is the aging of the stars. When the hydrogen is not burning to form the helium, hydrogen will be stops to burn to form the helium here. Only the helium is present in the core of the star. When this will happens, the amount of radiation emitted from the star will be decreases. As it will be decreases means the temperature is decreases from 3000 to 4000 Kelvin, and as the hydrogen content will be decreases in the core of the star, the outer layers will be expands. Hence the size of the star will be increases there. Hence the surface temperature will be changes. That we know that the surface temperature of the star is directly proportional to the color of the star. Hence as the surface temperature is changes, the star will be turns the color from the white to red. So the star will be turns from the stage main sequence to the red giant stage or the super red giant stage. As we can see in the diagram, here it is red giant stage and the red supergiant stage. After that, the next stage will be death of the star. In the death of the star, at the temperature of the core temperature of the star will be at this stage it is 10 raised to 8 Kelvin. And when this temperature is reached here and hydrogen is completely burned to already form into the helium in the core, now the helium will be turned into form the carbon by the triple alpha process. And now the chain reaction will be continuous here. The helium will be converts into the carbon, that carbon will be converts into the oxygen, that will be converts into the neon, and that will be converts into the magnesium. The chain reaction will be continuous until the iron is formed here, and by the triple alpha process with the capturing of the alpha particle and the emission of the gamma photon. And when the iron is formed in the core of the star, as we know that iron is a heavy element and it is having the binding energy per nucleon is also very high for the iron. So when the iron is formed in the core of the star, it will get more and more massive, and the temperature at this stage will be 10 raised to 9 Kelvin. Whereas when this all happens in the star, then supernova explosion will be takes place. So the star will be splits up into, or the star, when the supernova explosion takes place here, the neutron star will be formed, or the black hole, or the white dwarf. Most of the star end their life with the white dwarf. This is all about the life cycle of the star. The next topic is here the white dwarf. White dwarf is a small star consisting of the elements lighter than iron which has reached the stage where no further nuclear burning is possible, is called as a white dwarf. And we can see here in the diagram, this is the picture of the white dwarf, and this is the smallest star which is consisting of the elements lighter than the iron here. When the massive iron is formed there, then the outer layers of the star will be throws off, and the contraction, gravitational contraction will be takes place here. The core will be contracts and it will be cools until the atom collapses and electrons or nuclei are packed together. Until that, the contraction will be continuous here, and the white dwarf will having the mass 2 by 3rd of its solar mass, and perhaps the 10% of the stars are ends their life with the white dwarf. This is all about the white dwarf. The next topic is the Chandrasekhar's mass limit, and according to Chandrasekhar, the real white dwarf is not stable. The density of the real white dwarf is not stable. That density will be maximum at the center, and it will be decreases and reaches to zero as we are going towards the surface. As we can see here, this is the white dwarf, and this is at the center. The density will be very high at the center, and as we are moving towards the outer surface, the density will be goes on decreases and it will reaches to zero at the surface, and the electrons which are present in the center of the white dwarf will be relativistic means which is having the velocity as the speed of light, and as we are moving towards the surface, they become non-relativistic. So to Chandrasekhar considered the white dwarf model to satisfy the hydrostatic equilibrium and the complete pressure density relationship. As per the model, he gave the one equation, that here is the equation. Right, radius of the white dwarf is equal to 0.1128 1 minus mass by Chandrasekhar's mass limit for the white dwarf whole to the power of 4 by 3 whole to the power of 1 by 2 here, and multiplied by mass, and it is the ratio to the mass of Chandrasekhar's mass limit for the white dwarf whole to the power of minus 1 by 3 into the radius of the sun. And here capital M means it is the ratio of the mass of the white dwarf to the solar mass, and Chandrasekhar's mass limit will be is equal to 1.4 times of the solar mass. When all these equations will be substituted in the radius of the white dwarf, we will get that radius of the white dwarf is equal to 0.01 times the radius of the solar. And when the mass of the white dwarf is equal to the Chandrasekhar's mass limit for the white dwarf, then the radius will becomes 0. So from this equation, we can conclude that as the mass is goes on increases, the radius will be decreases and it will be becomes 0 for the relativistic mass. So the white dwarf, no white dwarf will having the mass greater than the Chandrasekhar's mass limit. This is about the Chandrasekhar's mass limit. And the next topic will be here, the neutron star. A star of extremely high density that is composed primarily of neutron stars is known as neutron star, and this neutron star is very high density and it will be composing of the neutrons only. And I'm going to the back here, that is the death of the star, that when the supernova explosion will be takes place. Before the supernova explosion will be takes place, the star will be either formed as a neutron star or it will be formed as a black hole here. When the massive star will be formed there and the temperature is 10 raised to 9 Kelvin and a very mass element is present in the core of the star, that is iron, that iron will be converts into alpha particles, that is helium particles here. When that will be formed, then the next process will be takes place here, that is the electrons will be squeezes into the atom, squeezes into the nuclei, and that will reacts with the proton and neutrons along with the neutrinos, it will be formed here. And the neutrinos will be escapes, only the large amount of neutrons are present in the core of the star, and that at the stage that star is called as neutron degeneracy. The stage of the star is neutron degeneracy, and this neutron degeneracy having has the that much of pressure which will opposes the which will having equal and opposite of the gravitational pressure, that is hydrostatic equilibrium. The inward pressure is equal and opposite to the outward pressure. If this will happens here, then the neutron star will be having the stability, or again if it is not happens there, the collapsion will be continuous. And neutron star is a very small star which is having the radius of 10 kilometers, and the mass limit for the neutron star is from the 1.4 times of the solar mass, and it is nearly equal to the 3 times of the solar mass. And before the collision, the star will be before the collision, the a weak magnetic field will be held there. When the when the collapsion will be takes place, explosion will be takes place, that the magnetic field is concentrated towards the center. As the shrinkage will be goes on continuous to form the neutron star, that will forms a very strong powerful magnetic field at the center. So this when this will happens, the neutron star will be rotates with 1000 revolutions per second, hence it is also called as pulsars. Then this is about the neutron star here, and the size of the neutron star, that is by quantum mechanics we can get the radius of the neutron star by this equation, that is Rn represents the radius of the neutron star. It is equal to 12.3 times of the ratio of the solar mass to the mass of the neutron star whole to the power of 1 by 3, and it is measured in terms of the kilometer here. If mass of the neutron star is equal to the mass of the solar, then the radius will becomes 12.3 kilometer, and if the mass of the neutron star is equal to the Chandrasekhar's mass limit, then that is 1.4 times of the mass of the solar, then the radius will becomes 8.8 kilometer here. The mass limit, as the white dwarf will having the Chandrasekhar's mass limit, for this neutron star it is also having the upper mass limit, that it will be less than the 3 times of the solar mass, and it will probably in the range of 2 times of the solar mass to the 3 times of the solar mass. If this mass is exceeds, then hydrostatic equilibrium will be disturbed there, hence the neutron star will be collapses to form the black hole. So our next topic is the black hole here, an object whose surface gravity is so high that nothing, not an even light can escape. It is known as black hole. The massive neutron stars could continue to contract into an infinite dense object is the black hole. And here the mass of the black hole is ranges from the 5 times of the solar mass to the nearly the 10 times of the solar mass. And according to the theory of relativity, the light will having the some mass, means when it is having mass means it should react with the gravity. So the black holes having the radius of 15 kilometer, when it is having this much of radius, the surface gravity is so high, even the light can passes towards the surface, it will be pulled back. So if the radius of the black holes is greater than the 15 kilometer, then there is a probability or the possibility of the light to escape from the surface of the star. And the surface of the black holes, the surface gravity of the black holes is so high, it will be billions of stronger than the surface gravity of the sun. And the minimum mass of the black holes is 4 times of the mass of the solar, and the mass of the star will be remains constant here. And because the light can't be escaped from its surface, means nothing can escape from the surface, so it is invisible, and the contraction will be continuous to form a very small dense object, but the mass is constant here. This is all about the black holes. Thank you.